And somebody said, what time of day do you want to be on? I said, well, what's available? And they were telling me, and I said, no, you know what I'd really like to do, because I only sleep 4 hours a day. I didn't tell you folks that, truly, only 4 hours a day. And I said, I would love to be on at the beginning of the day. And they said, no, we have someone on at 7 o'clock in the morning. We do our newscast. I said, no. The beginning of the day is right after midnight. The clocks all over town, they click. And so I'd love to be on in the 1 a.m. At that time, Al Collins, a wonderful guy, was retiring from that slot. So I got that slot, and that's what I do here. I just show up like I'm doing now, wink at people, shake others' hands, walk on up, and I do my show, and I've been doing it here Monday through Friday, all this time for a good, here, for as long as we've existed here, it was about 20 years, but certainly about 31 years altogether. And it worked out beautifully. One of the things that a lot of people, and I'm noticing looking at Facebook, and I see what a lot of you have enjoyed. You've enjoyed the music.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy the music.
Yeah.
And I just think that music means so much to our lives that it's wonderful to do, and for us to hear, and for us to be inspired. But I also will ream someone's hysteria if in fact they are wrong on civil rights, if in fact they are wrong on what we need in this country to bring about equality right across the board. And I don't mind doing it, you know, the ratings are super high. And, oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you. And so I just pour in and I do it the 4 hours, Monday through Friday. They just zip by like you wouldn't believe. And then I get off, I jump in the car, get home about 20 after 5, 15 after 5, jump into the sack, sleep until about 8:45, get up, shower, shave, head down to City Hall, where I'm still a commissioner here in San Francisco. So it's been a wonderful life. And it's been a real privilege meeting the people that I've met. And when I was the conductor of Third Baptist Choir, Reverend Haynes, because that's the biggest black church in town, when all the great black folk would come to San Francisco, they would go there to preach the sermon. And since I conducted the choirs, I'll never forget walking in, and Reverend Haynes would say, Taliaferro, could you get here real quick? I said, I got there real quick. And I opened the door to his study, and I looked. Oh my God, there's Martin Luther King. And indeed, Martin Luther King had been rising. He had been preaching in the South. He preached, he had done his rallies and done all of those protest demonstrations. And he got over here to San Francisco to preach at Third Baptist, the church I conducted at, and was the biggest. And I looked at him, and he was such a nice man. And young man, I heard a lot about you from Freddie here. And so I conducted, and then he said, I said, Dr. King, you're going to preach the sermon? Yes. Is there a song that you'd like? Yes. About 20 minutes into my sermon, I'm going to talk about Saul walking down the road of Tarsus. And he's struck by God, he lands on the earth, he comes up and he's Paul, and becomes Saint Paul. And so if you could, if you've got a couple of spirituals that you could stick in there right after that, so that I can end, I said, I will. And I did. After that service, he said, oh my God, young man, oh gee, this is Dr. Ralph Abernathy, my partner. We're going to have our first rally in the Cow Palace. Could you conduct the mass choirs in 2 weeks? I said, yes. So I did. So my upbringing along life's road has been wonderful, and it's been wonderful with wonderful people, all kinds of people, great politicians, great statespeople, wonderful rainbow coalition of folk, black, white, red, brown, beige with freckles, right down the line, that for me to be president of the NAACP for as long as I did, going to jail, trying to get civil rights put together in this town was something. And that's one of the reasons why on my talk shows, and I greatly appreciate all of you who've emailed or sent me letters or called, you said, my God, nothing seems to cause you to be quiet on some of these issues. I said, nothing ever will. Nothing ever will. You don't get born here and grow up here and hear the people I know. You just can't do it. What is right is right. And that's what needs to take place here in, well, all over the place, but surely in my city of San Francisco. And when I have known so many wonderful, wonderful people in my life, those who have worked very, very hard to bring about, I'll just give you an example, when we were pushing for integration. You say, why'd you push for integration? Well, it was simple. There are many districts of San Francisco that would not allow non-white people. So I participated with Supervisor Terry Francois, some of you might remember the name, one of our great black leaders, in writing non-discrimination laws. And I'll never forget the first election, when I was a commissioner at the time. There was a wonderful friend of mine who lost the election. And we both met outside City Hall, and we sat down and we talked about it. And I said, but Harvey, you're going to make it next time. He says, oh, Ray, no, this town, look at the way they treat gay people. I said, Harvey Milk, you're going to make it. You are going to make it. Look how close you came, and I quoted the numbers and so forth. And so we pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Because of discrimination against blacks, we had commissions against that, the Human Rights Commission. We did not include gays in the Human Rights Ordinance until all this was made aware. And then I pushed the supervisor to add an addendum to the civil rights legislation. And that's what happened and happened and happened. So I've been here and I've seen this town, my town, your town, this city, what I consider to be one of the greatest metropolitan areas ever in the history of mankind. It really needs to be doing what it's doing. And make sure that everybody, but everybody, is treated on an equitable basis. And the best way to do it is to get voices out there that can be heard over the air, out in the political field. But you don't make it as well as you can possibly make it unless it's done over the air. And that to me is what is really, really important. So I'll be damned if just, when was it? A couple weeks ago? I was sitting in my office having done the show, and there was my great friend Gene Burns, and there was John Rothman, and I had gotten a call at home from one of the folk here and said, oh, Ray, this is one of the bosses of the new Cumulus is going to be in town, and he'd like to talk to you at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I said, okay, I'll be there. I got there, and there were 3 of us sitting, Gene, Don, and me, and the fellow. And all he did, which shocked the hell out of me, after my knowing what the hell should take place, he walked in the room, the little room right over there, and he sat down, and he didn't say, oh, hello, gentlemen, I'm so-and-so, not at all. He handed his hand 3 white envelopes. Not even with our names on it, just white envelopes. He said, here, those are you'll see in the envelope, there's a copy of all of your contracts, so there are checks made to fulfill the commitment to those contracts. When you see the check, if you don't think that it's what it'll be, you can call, and get New York and get and left the room. So I said, hey, just before you go, sir, do I do my early morning show this morning? You didn't say, what? You didn't say we were off the air, on the air? No, sir, you won't do it this morning or any other morning.
Stimulus.
That's it. I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe it. And one of my colleagues, who I will not mention the name, was nervous as all get out. I jumped out of my seat, went to his seat, hugged him, and I said, this will work out. It will work out. You're wonderful, he's wonderful, and I'm wonderful. It's going to work out. So that was the first time ever in all my life, and I gave you a taste of a little of my life coming along Life Road, and that sucker came into that room and left. I didn't see him after that. One of his associates said, "Now we have cardboard boxes for you to empty all your desks in, and we'll be upstairs and make sure that you empty all of your desks." So we went upstairs to our desks, and